Hello everyone, welcome to Black Ops 4 Zombies. This is Blood of the Dead, and yes, I am actually making a trophy guide for this 2 months past release. Now, a lot of people got this over the holidays, so I figured let's make a guide for beginners and for pros. This is going to be the Senseless Axe of Violence trophy, which I'll earn here in just a second. That's for getting 5 zombies dead with the Hell's Redeemer before it starts its return. Of course, this is a very lengthy process, and I'm going to earn the trophy here. And as I said, this is going to be for beginners and for pros. If you are a beginner, I'm going to walk you through all the steps. I'm going to show you how to turn on the power, get the shield all in round 1. But if you already know all of that, you know how to get the retriever, heck, you might know how to get the redeemer, you can go to these following timestamps. I'll have a full list of timestamps in the description, far more detailed than that. Outlining each and every step. But I really wanted to help people who are new to the game, maybe playing this mode for the first time or this map for the first time. So we're going to start off in round 1. Round 1, I'm going to do a whole bunch of things here. I'm going to turn on all the power and build the shield. A shield is going to be required for a later step. So in the very starting building, just going to knife all but one zombie and then rebuild one window. And that is going to leave me with exactly 1,300 points. So once you have the 1,300 points, we are going to go across the catwalk. Well, first we have to turn on the power in order to go across the catwalk. But then we're going to go across the catwalk, make our way to the prison. Now, once you go across the catwalk, it's going to spawn a whole bunch of fast-moving zombies as well as some hounds. And they're not part of the actual round. So you want to make sure you don't kill off your last remaining zombie. Sometimes he will spawn ahead of you. You'll know the difference between him and the rest of the zombies because he's the only slow one. So again, make sure you don't kill him. Now if you do, don't worry, you can go to round 2. I'm just showing you how to get this done in the shortest period of time, in the earliest round. Because I found once I advance too many rounds into the game just starts to become too difficult for me. I'm not the best zombie player, unfortunately. But if I can do it, anyone can do it. Now, when you're going across the catwalk here, as I mentioned, there's a lot of fast-moving zombies between here and the prison, and they're all going to come at you in a row. Now, you'll see a warden off to the left-hand side, so I'm going to use an acid grenade that's in my loadout. I'm going to toss it to him, pretty much hit him direct on there, and that is actually going to pull the warden into this round with us. Now be careful here, there's one zombie and 3 dogs that'll attack you all simultaneously. You don't want to miss any of your stabs here. I'm using the stabs in round 1 because it's a single hit, and that's going to maximize my points. Now be careful, sometimes that zombie you left alive will be right here at this corner. He's not. You should have 3,530 points. Now you see the screen is shaking, that's because there's a warden chasing me. I'm going to actually train him all the way down to where the second one is. Now we need to find the parts for the shield. You may find the first part at that electrical box, which is not there. And if it's not there, just head over to Michigan Avenue over here. Turn left, and we're going to backtrack, and it might be at this electrical box, which it is. There's also a third location that this first part can be located in. I will also show you where that is. That's actually just outside the warden's office. So we're going to follow Michigan Avenue. We need to turn left and go down the stairs. We're going to eventually go to the very bottom here. There's the warden office, and that's where the third part, or first part, the third possible location is. So now we're going to go down into the Citadel, head down into the tunnels. We will be revisiting this area a little bit later. Now what we're going to do is find another part down here. It's going to be one of 3 possible locations, either behind this third doorway here. So we're going to peek around to the left. It might be there, and if it's not there, it'll be at the very bottom of the stairs on the left-hand side. Be possibly there, and it's not, and it's going to be right outside the power room. If it's not in those first 2 locations, right there. So pick that up. Now we're going to turn on the power, the second set of power here, and it's going to actually trigger another warden. Now killing a warden the first time is going to give you a key, and that is going to be the third part of the shield that we need to build. So now that I have 2 wardens, I'm going to use my special. I have the minigun equipped as my special. I really like the katana. But I found the minigun to be far better at taking out the wardens here. Trying to line them both up. And you can see they actually both drop apart. I think that's kind of a bug just because I had 2 of them in the map. That second one or that first one that I got really early on after the catwalk, is because I hit him with the grenade. All right, so now with all the power on, we're going to go and rebuild our shield. Or not rebuild it, build it really for the first time. And we need to find a workbench. There's a few workbenches in this map. There's going to be one in the prison up on the 3rd level, which would be the closest and probably honestly be the most convenient, but it's going to require us to spend, I forget, 1,250 points, I think it is, to open the gate. So instead, what I'm going to do is head over to New Industries. It's the building right near the starting area. And inside of there is going to be our first dog head. It's a wolf head that we need to kind of activate and feed a bunch of zombies to this wolf head. You'll see it in just a moment. But inside of that same building is going to be a workbench. So that's where I'm going to build the shield. If you need to repair your shield at any point, you just go back to that same bench. I think it's 250 points to repair it. So heading across the recreation yard, we will spend a lot of time here a little bit later, halfway through this video. Continue our way across the catwalk. Now again, I'm trying to do as much as I can to get this completed in as few rounds as possible. I will ultimately have an opportunity to earn the Senseless Axe of Violence trophy in round 8. I won't get it until round 9. So that was the build I just passed the starting building. Now if you go in here, you'll see a little symbol of a wolf's head. It's kind of a demon hound. Inside of this same area is a workbench. We're going to craft the shield. Now the shield's kind of cool. It has an ability when you equip it, hit L1 to equip it, that you can drain the essence from zombies or even dogs. And you just hold your fire button and you'll do that. You drain enough essence, you'll actually charge up the shield and you can emit a shield blast. That is important. We need a charged shield a little bit later for one of the steps. Now it also allows you, when you're holding L2, to view objects in the world that you can't see otherwise. Alright, so now I'm going to kill my final zombie. I'm going to do it in the vicinity here of this first demon head. And you'll see it'll activate it, and it's going to eat the zombie. Now that we have it activated, we need to feed it 5 more zombies. Now while it's feeding, you don't want to kill any zombies. You can if you want. I'm just trying to tell you how to do this in the quickest, in the shortest amount of rounds. Alright, so round 2, but because I did all of that, we are going to get a dog round. So it's very simple. There's only going to be 6 of them, but if you drain them with the key, you can eliminate them real quick and real easy. Now if you notice on the bottom, you'll see my 4 perks, and just to the right of that you'll see a little shield icon. That is the health of the condition of the shield. At some point I'm going to have to repair it and then recharge it again, because as you get hit, of course, it'll take a little health, reduce the condition of the shield. So now we are in round 3, back to just regular zombies. Now we're going to go ahead and fill this head, and there's going to be 3 such locations. One is going to be in the middle of the prison, and there will be one by the warden's house. I don't know why this one guy's giving me some trouble. Alright, you can see now it's going to be eaten. Again, while it's feeding on that zombie, it won't feed on any others, so any kills that you get while it's feeding won't count towards our total. So I'm going to wait for him to finish swallowing up that guy, eliminate another one. Of course, here's a good opportunity if you're new to the mode to practice training zombies. Training zombies is getting all the zombies kind of grouped up into a horde and having them follow you around. Once you get them all grouped up and they're all together, you can just kind of lead them around a big area. I wasn't counting. I don't know how many is currently eaten. We'll know when it's completed, however. The head will disappear. And that'll be it. So we're gonna now, I'm gonna leave this area, and I'm actually gonna go and pick up a gun off the wall here. There's a shotgun that I find to be pretty helpful right here. So I'm gonna go pick it up and head back over the catwalk through the recreation yard into the prison, and we're gonna go up to the second floor. Now sometimes there's a mystery box in that room, in that building we just left. Really, I prefer just picking up the shotgun off the wall because I'm guaranteed a gun that I know is going to do the job. You could try using the mystery box instead if you got a few extra points. I find that I oftentimes just get something that would have been worse than the shotgun. Alright, so back in here, going through D block, through the library, up into the middle here. So now we are on the second floor. You can see the symbol there. And now we just have to wait for the zombies to respawn. Here's one. Killing the first one will activate the demon head. Now we just have to feed it 5 more zombies. Now again, there is a workbench on the 3rd floor here right above us. It would require 1,200 or more points in order to open the lock. If you've already used that other workbench, however, to build your shield, you will have to return to that one. Always return to that one to repair your shield. You're not going to be able to use any of the other workbenches. And because I'm only doing a guide here for the Senseless Axe of Violence trophy, we're not going to do any steps that aren't required towards that. So we're not going to go to the pack-a-punch machine or do anything else. This is basically a guide for this one trophy, of course. There are a few difficult steps. Once we activate all 5 of these hounds, or 3 of these hounds rather, and feed all 5 of the zombies, we are able to pick up a item called Hell's Retrieval, and it's basically a tomahawk that you can throw that'll boomerang back to you, and it's a very powerful weapon, even more powerful once we've upgraded it to the Hell's Redeemer, which is what we'll need for the trophy at the very end. I'd like to say getting the Hell's Redeemer is the hardest part, but the hardest part is probably getting the 5 kills with 1 throw. And those kills have to be while the Redeemer is going forward before it boomerangs back. So any kills that it gets on its way back won't count. You'll need to get 5 kills while it's moving forward. And it doesn't travel very far, which a lot of people have a lot of issues with it. Alright, so now that we're done with there, we're going to go through the warden's office, an area accessible only after you turn down that 2nd power. Open up this debris, and you have the warden's house back here. And we have another head we need to feed. Now we are starting off round 4 here. So I want to get kill just these 6 zombies. The first one to activate it, 5 additional ones, and then it'll eventually go away. I'm going to try to eliminate killing any other ones because the remaining zombies we are going to use to upgrade the Hell's Retrieval, the tomahawk, once we get it. And that process is a little misleading. A lot of conflicting info out there. I found that when I was researching this, because again, I just started playing this map not long ago, and I realized I didn't know how to do a lot of steps. So some of the trophy guides for the Senseless Axe of Violence kind of started after you got a certain item, and I never knew how to get that item. So then I had to get another guide, but then you had to go back. It's a series of 3 guides I had to watch. So I'm kind of making this all in one here. Hopefully it helps someone. I'm sure there's someone who just recently got this for the holidays. I think we're almost done. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 more. Again, only killing what I have to. But once we get this done, we're going to take a shortcut path, and that'll do it right there. We're going to go inside the warden's house. Take the shortcut path here to the showers. Costs you 500 points. Now, while you're flying through here, hold down your square button or whatever your pickup button is, And you see it's right there. You have to be holding it down as you're passing it, and you will pick up the tomahawk. So the Hell's Retriever is what we have now. Now, I'll show you here in just a moment. When you throw it, it has kind of a red and yellow glow to the handle as we throw it. We'll throw it right here. Now you can also hold down the R1 button to charge it up. You can charge it up twice. You'll see 2 pulses emit around you as you're charging it. Now again, I mentioned that it has a red and yellow glow to it when you throw it. Well, if you come out to the recreation yard, and there's a couple spots here that when you throw it, it'll actually have a blue glow around the handle. And we need to get 30 kills in the recreation yard in these spots that I'm going to show you. There's actually more than a couple spots. I'm just going to show you the 2 spots I go to. So what I'm doing is just trying to group up the zombies over here. Now, I always group the zombies on the prison side and not over by the catwalk side, just because I don't want them to come at me from near the catwalk. So I'm getting them to all spawn in, and then I'm going to train them back here. Now, what I do is go over to this blue barrel over here just to the left. I'm going to get out my retrieval. So we throw the axe. Now, you notice it didn't have a blue glow on the handle. Sometimes you won't actually see the blue glow to the handle when you throw it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't count. You'll see actually when I complete this step, there was no blue glow from it. And I think in part it's because I had the zombies so close to me. Now, when you get your 30 kills, you saw the little blue glow there. When you get your 30 kills, you will hear a distinct but faint wolf howl. And when I get to that point, I'll actually turn the volume up so you can hear it. So I go from that blue barrel down to this location here, and I just kind of train the zombies back and forth. Now we are going to start round 5. So at the start of a round, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of head back up towards the prison entrance here. And I'm going to group up the zombies. Again, I'm trying to get them to all spawn from this side. I don't want them to spawn from near the catwalk. So we're going to do a little dance in here. Have a little fun with these guys. Now, in order to not die, if you have to shoot one, shoot one. There's going to be a case where you might run into some issue. One of my potions that I'm using is going to teleport me to a random place. I have it assigned to the up on the D button. It's very critical you have that potion equipped and make sure you know which spot it's in. So here by the blue barrel, I'm going to wait for them to get close. Get more kills again. You don't see the blue glow effect always. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And you can see I'm stuck here. So I'm going to go ahead and anywhere but here, I'm going to activate that potion. It will recharge. However, it does take quite a while to recharge. So you may find your spot in the position I just was in where you're trapped. So when you're playing solo, you can get knocked down twice. The third time will ultimately kill you. But that potion will definitely save you. And it'll teleport you to a random location. Thankfully, it was pretty close. So I'm just going to group these guys back up again. And then just continue back between that point and the blue barrel. And there's a guy coming from behind me, so I just shot him so I can just turn around and get the horde that was coming up behind me. Now, I won't actually complete this step in round 5. I will get it on I think my first toss of round 6. So it was just a little over 1 round. How long it took me. Now, again, I mentioned there's a few other spots that you can actually throw the tomahawk from. I just choose this barrel and then that other spot down below. Just because they're the easiest for me to kind of navigate between. So there we go. We're in round 6 now. Sometimes in round 6, a warden will spawn. If that happens, I typically just kind of run to the prison get a long sight line and take out my special weapon again, the miniguns, and destroy him that way. I also never mentioned earlier, and I want to mention this now, that you cannot do this on casual difficulty. It has to be done on normal or higher. I just got stuck there. Alright, so same thing again. I'm going to start off by the prison sign, try to get them all to spawn over here, so they're not coming at me from the catwalk side. And it is going to be just my first throw. So I'm going to get up over here. I'm going to go silent. I'm going to turn the game audio up quite a bit here so you can hear it.
Get up so that I might lacerate you once again.
So if you heard it there, rewind it if you have to hear it. Another sign that you also got it is you will no longer have a blue effect on the handle when you throw the axe. So if you're unsure. All right, so now that we've got the 30 kills, what we need to do is on the retriever, we got the 30 kills with that. What we need to do is find a symbol, a wolf head symbol, and it'll be in one of 10 different locations. Now, in order to do that, you need to use the shield. If you notice, I don't have a shield anymore. It broke. And me playing this game here didn't realize that, because I just ran from the building where I could have repaired my shield. So I haven't figured it out yet. So we'll watch together, and at some point you'll know that trigger. I'll just immediately turn around and head back the other way. So the symbols, there's 4 of them in the recreation yard. There's 4 of them in the Citadel area, and then there are 2 by the warden's house. So I'm realizing here I can't look for the... I don't have a shield. So I'm going to head back over to the... Well, I just activated my Death Wish perk, just activated. Would have died. Good thing I just picked that up. Alright, so now we're going to go rebuild the shield, and then we're going to look for the 10 symbols. So again, there's 4 possible locations in the rec yard, 4 in the Citadel, 2 in the Warden's area. In a moment, I will actually kind of pause this video and give you a guide within a guide. I will do a collectible guide for those 10 locations, and then we'll unpause the game.
The shield appears calibrated.
So there's the shield. Again, you have to look through the shield. Hold L2 in order to look through it. And that is the only way you're going to be able to see this in what would otherwise be an invisible symbol. So right here, I'm also charging up the key. Don't forget, you got to drain the essence to charge up the key. And the key is charged up. You can see it's kind of glowing. Now I'm going to take a shortcut passage here to the cafeteria. Cafeteria is where I'm going to actually end this guide. This is where I'm going to get the trophy for the Senseless Axe of Violence.
Oh, I'm fine.
All right, so let's take a pause here. Let's show you all possible locations of this symbol. Let's start off back at the recreation yard here. 4 symbols. Again, you have to look through your shield. The first one is going to be right down here, right where I'm aiming. It's really hard to see this spot when you got the shield equipped just because of the limited view that you have on the shield. So that one's a little hard to see, but the next one is just over here to the right of that hanging body. And then there are going to be 2 as you're leaving the recreation yard. So again, right there. 2 as you're leaving the recreation yard. First one on the left. This is actually where mine's going to end. It's right on the back side of that wall plate. And then there's going to be one on the right underneath the rock overhang out there. So that's the first area. Now go to the warden's house area, the Eagle Plaza. There'll be 1 to the left of that pipe. And then 1 on the back side of this wall piece just to the right of this corner of the house. Now there'll be 4 in the Citadel area. So when you come down here, there's going to be a hanging body over here. It's going to be to the right on the wall there. And then there are going to be 3 in this area. Normally you'll see the orange wolf head symbols. There'll be 1 right on inside of that spot. If we kind of rotate over to the right and then look left, you can see 1 on that side of the wall. And then swing around, look through the opening here, and it could possibly be in that spot. So now that I showed you that, let's go ahead and resume the game. I'm going to head over towards the warden's house first to look for it. I hope you paid attention to the citadel locations I showed you, because in this live run here, I actually screw up one of the locations. I look at the wrong spot. So there, with the shield equipped, it wasn't in either of those two spots. We're going to go down into the citadel before you get to the tunnels. This is actually in the room right before you get to the tunnels. Look in these spots. That is not the right spot there, Brian. Good job. All right, so nothing there. Nothing hanging on that wall. Looking through here. I never checked the one location. Thankfully, it wasn't there. All right, so it wasn't near the warden's house. It wasn't in the citadel area. It's going to be in the recreation yard. I already told you which spot it was going to be in. Nope, that's the wrong way. That's the cafeteria. We will end the cafeteria. That cafeteria there is actually the best place to train zombies in this map. Check off to the right. It's not going to be there. It's going to be to the left here. Now, once you've found it, you just need to throw your tomahawk at it. That's it. Throw your retriever at it. And now you've lost your retriever. Not for good, but for now. So the next step is to find an invisible ghost wolf. And you can only do that during a dog round. Luckily for me, round 7 happens to be my dog round. Now you got the dog round in round 2. You'll get it again in either 7, 8, or 9. Getting it in 7 is going to make this a little easier, because you're not going to advance as far many rounds into the game. So at this point, you need to take out your shield and look through the shield viewfinder here. You got to hold the L2 button to see it. And we're going to look for the dog. And there was a glimpse of it. I just saw it run up these stairs. So we're going to chase it down. It's going to move anywhere in this entire map. Now, once you found it, you got to do a shield blast. So you got to have a charged up shield that you drained the essence with. And then when you're looking through the shield, you got to hit the R2 button to do a shield blast. And the dog just disappeared. So we're going to find it. Now, it's oftentimes going to be by the warden's house, in the warden's office, rather. But it's a lot of times it's in the prison, and a lot of times it gets stuck right here on these stairs. And you can see it leaves a kind of like a ghost print too, so it's easier to find. So I just did a shield blast on it. Now I'm going to pick up the Redeemer. It's going to be in the same place we got the Retriever. So we're going to take that same passage to the showers, the shortcut, and grab it. So that ghost dog could be anywhere, and that's what sucks about this, is because it can be anywhere from the starting area all the way through to the end. It sucks, unfortunately, and especially sucks if the wolves break your shield and you got to get a new one. And if you don't have enough wolves to kill or to drain the essence from, you won't have a shield blast, so you'll have to wait until the next dog round. So if you have a fully repaired shield, as you enter the dog round, just kill all but one dog, and hopefully you can find the ghost dog. So now, as we went through that underground passage, we got the Hell's Redeemer. It's a much more powerful version of the Retriever. You can see it completely glows blue now. So now I'm going to go to the cafeteria, kill off the last dog, and we are going to get set to try to get the actual trophy now that we got the Redeemer. So all of that just to get this Hell's Redeemer. Again, to get this trophy, you need to, in the Blood of the Dead map here, kill 5 zombies with the Hell's Redeemer before it starts its return. So again, it boomerangs. It only counts the kills as it's going out. Once it turns around and comes back to you, it doesn't count. And it's very tricky. Now, I read a lot of guides online. A lot of people train in the cafeteria area because this is the best place to train. As you can see, it has very wide paths here that goes in a circle or square. And then there's big hallways just outside this room as well. I'm going to shoot any of the dogs that come in just because they can mess you up. And they're much faster. So I'm just going to train the zombies. Now, a lot of different various guides and videos I watch, people have done it here. And what they do is they charge up the Hell's Redeemer. You got to hold it. And it'll actually charge 3 times instead of 2. So it's a much more powerful version. And they'll try to get the zombies close to you. Now, you do want to get the zombies real close to you because the distance of the tomahawk is a finite number. It only goes a certain distance, so you got to be close to the zombies in order to maximize the number of zombies it could possibly go through. And then some people say, well, throw it at the end of the train or in the middle of the train. It took me a lot of time. This isn't even my first game trying this. This is actually my 3rd one. And I trained these zombies around, and I charged up that axe, and I threw it various spots. I even tried throwing it at the ground. Ultimately, none of that actually worked. Some people, I think, just got lucky and got it. There's a nuke. We want to make sure we don't hit that. And in round 9, I said to myself, all right, I'm going to do what other people had mentioned worked real well for them, and that is actually doing it on the stairs. And that is where I'll ultimately get the trophy on my first attempt, mind you. And I did a lot of thinking, well, why would the stairs work easier than being on a flat ground surface such as this? And the only thing I can speculate is when you throw it, it has an arc and it'll eventually kind of hit the ground. But when you're firing it from above, on like the stairs, the natural arc of the throw will allow it to travel further since the ground is then be further away. So that's scientifically, I think that would be the only explanation for it. And it worked again, my first attempt. So I'm going to recommend this to be the best way to do it. And we're running short on zombies here. And round 9 is actually the round I'm going to get another warden pop in, so that's going to just add another layer to it. All right, just the one last guy, no chance. That power up recharges your special, which it was already charged. All right, so we are in round 9. This is where I'm going to decide to kind of leave the cafeteria area. I'm going to use the cafeteria here to train the zombies, of course. And then I'm going to eventually lead them down some stairs to the room that's actually kind of below this. Now, again, actually, I'm going to actually do a few tomahawk throws here to thin the herd a little bit. Once you get later in rounds, the herd is just too big. And it's almost unmanageable. Again, I'm going to have a warden pop up here, which is going to kind of throw things off a little bit. But again, I feel that if you're on the stairs, because of the arc of the throw, more zombies can be in the path of the tomahawk when you throw it versus when you're on a flat surface such as this. Of course, half the challenge is trying to group everybody up. So there's the stairs I'm going to go down in just a moment. I'm going to go all the way straight back to kill this warden. And then what I'm going to do is group up all the zombies and get as many of them to come up the stairs as possible. From the top of the stairs, I'm going to charge up my axe, the Redeemer. Charging up the axe is actually optional, but it is going to help with your success rate. So just going to try to get everyone back into this corner. And then I'm going to swing back around to the stairs. I'm going to go past the stairs a little bit, so I can get the biggest number here thrown towards the bottom of the stairs. And finally, 34 minutes into this, we finally got a trophy. I know it was a complicated, well, not too complicated, but I know it was a very long video. I wanted to be able to help people who were new to this mode, new to the map, didn't quite understand all the mechanics. I also wanted to help people who know how to do this already and just need help with the trophy. And if you found it helpful at all, please hit the like button. I do appreciate it. I love you all. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.